We're here at Almost Human, where we made all the makeup effects for the Crazies. This is Eric Bourne. Yes, that's his real last name. This is Brett. He played the Hunter. Say hi.
Hi.
This is Joe and Jen. They were on set with us down in Georgia, and we're about to show you some movie magic, how we did this. Let's do it.
We actually made these pieces out of adhesive. It's a relatively new technique, and the appliances themselves are not made out of gelatin or foam or any traditional material. They're actually made out of glue. We create and make little molds for them, and then we put this tattoo transfer paper onto them, and when you wet it, you peel it off. It's essentially done.
We're here in the mold department, and this is where the makeup process begins with a life cast. We put alginate over his whole face first, minus the nostril holes. There's always one person there watching the nostrils. Then we take plaster bandage. That sets in another 5 minutes. We do like this whole mummy thing. And that holds the shape, because if we were to just put the alginate on and you peel it off, it would just fall flat and it's flimsy. We pour the stone into the mold and we get this stone cast. We'll make a silicone matrix mold of this cast, so we can just make as many as we need to. Same size, same everything. We have the neck piece that was made especially for Brett. This was sculpted exactly on his cast. This piece goes right up under his chin where it needs to go, blends off right down where it needs to on the collarbone. Face pieces, we did some generics for him where we actually took measurements off of his life cast. We used the cast basically to kind of map out everything and get sizes. First, it's sculpted in clay, and I believe this particular neck piece might have taken a day and a half to sculpt. We had some sculptors who are very talented guys come in. They sculpt every little wrinkle, every little detail in clay. And I mean, it's down to like the goose flesh. Then we mold it in stone, and after that, we inject silicone into the mold. After a night of sitting, we've got this nice flexible piece. It's pretty stretchy too. You can pull on it, it breathes with you, it moves with the muscles. Putting on the transfer pieces right now and doing the blending, they're putting on the veins that will eventually cover his head. See a little bit of alcohol that we're using just to smooth out the edges.
There's about 21 separate pieces that we're putting on.
There's a lot of them.
I did what's called a wash first, which is I took some of the pieces that were a little bit too yellow and sort of brought them to his own skin tone. His own skin tone is his, forehead essentially, and the nose and the chin are what we're leaving. So our job at this point is to try to map all those other colors into the prosthetics from here. So if you look here, you see a lot of reds in his forehead and his nose, some yellows, some cool tones. So I'm trying to bring all that stuff into the prosthetics now. That sort of like working a little backwards since you're painting translucent materials. You try to take their own skin tone and make everything else match. I like to paint with an airbrush, especially this model of it, because you can do what's called stippling, which is you have really runny paints. You make them really translucent. A certain way that you hold the airbrush, it actually spits it out on little spots. And if you look at your skin is pretty spotty. I feel like it helps, especially on camera. To the eye, sometimes it maybe look a little much, but on camera, I think it really adds it's a nice intrinsic way to paint with the airbrush. And then also, when we get into the little vein work, I'll switch to a different airbrush where we can get in a little tighter. Lighting and sometimes even just camera angles can make or break this stuff. And it's kind of like a giant magic trick that, it doesn't just come to the set all wrapped up and you open it and it dances and it looks perfect. I mean, it takes the grips and lighting and direction, and it takes all of these factors to be symbiotic with us to make the thing work. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. This movie was a great combination of things that really work. Most of the time, when you're building this stuff and all of that, you never really think, or you never really get to see, you always see it in like really bad flat lighting like this. You don't usually get to see it in nice uplighting or backlighting or however. We don't have kinos here, so it's hard to say what it's gonna look like. I think over time you get to know, okay, I know what this is most likely gonna look like with a couple of kinos, or if it's top lit or something like that, and you can make adjustments that way. But yeah, sometimes you're really surprised in a good way, like, wow, that worked really well. That looks awesome when it's all lit up. And sometimes you're like, oh shit, stop, let me fix something. So it's all a learning process. I mean, I feel like I learn on every movie that I do, and I probably always will. Sometimes we're shooting over a period of days or weeks one scene. So, you have to know that when you're going into it, because if you have to match exactly the same scene, you want to be a little bit more of a stickler. But if you're doing something, say we had him in the truck stop, and then the next time we did him, he was an outdoor scene where he's walking around. You know that you have a little bit more liberty in the colors, and you almost don't want to do the same thing because you want to get it really close, but then take, you know, say, oh, we're daylight now, so it's a little bit more blue, so maybe you want to dial down a little bit of the blues and the greens.
I'm just blending off all of the 5 o'clock shadow, matching up the skin a little bit more, so that everything kind of just forms one cohesive design.
You know what it really needs is this opaque cheek here. You got to knock that down.
Okay.
That will really help save it.
As the makeup starts getting on more and more and you start looking more like the character, you know, the third stage of the Trixie virus, yeah, you just slowly start getting into it. Well, once the contacts come in and the teeth go in and you start looking at yourself in the mirror, it's pretty much there, you know. As much as you're getting directed by Breck or the second unit, you also got Rob there throwing in his 2 cents behind the scenes, you know, because he knows what he expects that character to look like and what's going to look best, you know, jutting out the chin. We have a real great scene in the movie where I get hit by Timothy Oliphant, and I'm supposed to swing back around, and you have Rob there saying, take your time on that swing, really get that neck out and tilt that head. And it turned out to be probably one of the best little scary scenes in the whole movie.
The Crazies are all about stress and tension and tetanus and that kind of thing. So we've got this sort of theme, this MO where you see these striations. All the Crazies, like the Hunters and the Hamels and all that, they all had their own custom prosthetics on. You know, we took live casts of them and sculpted out the individual neck pieces that had all the top muscles, and they were made custom for them, and they were made out of silicone.
This neck piece, you know, was just it looked almost just like a piece of yellow plastic, and now it kind of has all these different sort of model colors on there. Start grunging. Grunge away.
Grunging's pretty much dirtying them up to kind of break up the skin tone a little bit.
And
They go in
to
the-
add to the grunginess.
Yes. They're alcohol-based makeups, and so pretty much they're sweat-proof, waterproof. They stay on the skin all day, so it's
Wow.
good stuff. I know.
That was a good little ad.
That's right.
We are getting into final detail pass on this makeup. Yeah, we're starting to do some little fine vein work, things like that. I'm usually let these guys start doing a little bit of that, and then I sort of kind of try to look away from it for a little bit and then come back in, see what needs to be done.
Not many people get to do this kind of work or get into the makeup and work with professionals and work with someone you admire in the business. And I've been lucky 3 different times to work with Almost Human and Rob. I've worked with some other people, but Rob will go through the process with you while he's doing it and talk about it and make you feel comfortable.
I'm
And
right here.
oh, yeah.
Wait, do that again?
And so it's cool.
We'll cast his actual teeth just like at the dentist office. We'll create positives, sculpt the teeth, and we'll do like a vacuform, which is a thin plastic. You put it in the machine and it shrinks over your model. So it'll be kind of like one of those Invisalign retainers. The low-tech version right now, stain the teeth with some food color.
Good for my diabetes. I mean, if you want to be honest, the 2 things that really, if anything, if there's any kind of bothersome thing, it's usually the teeth and your contacts. They have a guy on the set when you're filming a movie that gets paid like $300 an hour to come in and drop eye drops in your eyes, because they're not normal little contacts. They're ones that cover your whole eye.
They're usually soft lenses. I mean, the hard ones are what you used to see in like Michael Jackson's Thriller.
You can see really well. It's just that after about 5 to 15 minutes, your eyes will start to get a little irritated. And the worst thing is that, you know, if you're not real careful with the contacts, you can scratch your cornea,
Which is why he shows up.
which is why you have the guy that makes that $300 an hour.
Okay, 3 long hours after the process started of recreating the Hunter for the Crazies, we have finished. We just put in the contacts, we just did the finishing touches, and he's ready to do whatever crazy business he's supposed to be doing. What kind of crazy business are you doing?
Well, I need to hunt somebody, so.
Yeah, let's go hunting. You can see we got the neck piece is pretty visible there. You got the tendons. And this stuff moves like flesh as well. So, I mean, he can move his head around. He's not restricted. I know it feels like he would probably mess something up at this point if he moves, but it's designed to move like a second skin, so he can pretty much do anything that he would normally do. Put the contact lenses in, all the little vein pieces, as you can see now, are all blended in with the rest of the makeup. It's one of those things you have to be really conscious of not making the pieces look built up as you go along. Most of that stems from the sculpture stage to make sure you keep the pieces as thin as possible. I mean, this neck is actually really thick, but once it's on him, you don't really notice it. It means a big guy, he moves it well. And the cheeks as well. The cheeks are a little on the thick side. You don't really notice that either. There's a lot of three-dimensionality to it. You can see a lot of these veins popping and things like that. You've got the nice little gnarly ear there. Scariness, infectedness, tricksiness, craziness.
You can see that you can move around in this stuff. You know, there is some stuff you can get and doing when you're doing some creature stuff, which is very bulky. But you know, I had to beat up Timothy in a space like this big underneath a truck. The stuff is good. You can move around. I picked them up and slammed them.
This is a great example of what we do over here at Almost Human. This is a 3-hour prosthetic makeup that Brett was, big lug, was gracious enough to let us do, and hope you've enjoyed it.